Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is the middle of July and I'm doing June favorites because that is the story of my life. I am always perpetually late. Not really rudely late, because if you're really late and you like hold up a dinner, that's no good. But I am typically 5 to 10 minutes late, and in this case, I'm about 2 weeks. So I figure better late than never. I've got my top 5 favorites for June, beauty only, short and sweet. I figure let me get it out there rather than not do it at all. If you're interested in finding out about my top 5 June beauty favorites, then let's get started. So it's June and it's already getting hot, and I imagine will only get hotter as the summer progresses, although some places have been under intense heat waves and such. And so I'm a melter. I melt when the sun comes out, I sweat like crazy, and so this month I have been loving the Rimmel Scandalize eyeliner. It claims to be waterproof, and I don't think they gave it an hour. A lot of them are like 12 hour, 24 hour. This one just says waterproof. It's scandalize. They put the play on words, C-A-N-D-A-L-E-Y-E-S. Ooh, very witty. But I just love it because it really does stay on. I actually convinced my mom to give it a shot, and when she was traveling home after flying cross country from visiting me, she texted me the next day and she's like, my eyeliner's still on and it's been 29 hours. So this is totally comparable. It's a major dupe for the Urban Decay. Is it a 24-hour Glide On Eye Pencil waterproof? But Urban Decay is $20 and this is $3.99 at Target. Now I will say that the Urban Decay line has way more fun colors. This is simply brown, which I'm totally fine with. They also have a black. I think they have a navy and maybe a funny looking purple. I know the Urban Decay line is much larger than that, but when it comes to just a basic pencil, black or brown, or if you like the blue or purple, definitely spend $4 instead of stepping up and spending $20, because this stuff doesn't move. It really doesn't move, and that's what makes it so awesome, particularly in the summer. I use a Makeup Geek pencil brush, which is the most awesome tiny little pencil brush that you've ever seen, and after I put eyeliner on, I'll use it to kind of smudge the line a little bit so that way it doesn't look so harsh, more closely resembles as if you were using an eyeshadow as an eyeliner. Eyeshadow doesn't stay on me in the summer though, so that's not even an option. So the Scandalize eyeliners by Rimmel, totally fabulous. Number 2, going along with the idea that I melt in the summer and that makeup wants to move only after a couple of hours in the sun, oldie but goodie is the MAC paint pots, which just looks like a little black dot right now on the screen. I use the color Soft Ochre. Well, when I say Soft Ochre at the MAC counter, they know what I'm talking about. So this is the one that's a little bit more yellow toned than Painterly. I also have Painterly. Painterly's a little bit tackier, a little bit stickier, I want to say. So I find that Soft Ochre works much better when you're trying to blend your shadows in. But once you have this under your shadows, they don't move, at least for me. I've heard some people give some cold reviews about the paint pots as a base. Perhaps that's for super oily eyelids already, but I know just mine are just kind of naturally oily, but I know that I do sweat in the summer, and so when I use the paint pot as base, in the Soft Ochre in particular, it's creamy, but stays put and keeps my shadow in the quadrants that it's supposed to be in all day, and I don't wind up looking like a scary raccoon by the end of the day. So awesome. My next 2 products are about illuminating my face. My first one also been out for a little while. This is the Hourglass. What do they call these? The ambient lighting powders. I have the color Luminous Light. And this one just happened to match my skin tone the best. I know there's Dim Light, and I can't remember the names of the others. I remember Dim Light because that was the 2 that I was choosing between. Dim Light was a little bit cooler toned for my olive toned or olive undertones or my olive toned skin. Luminous Light is a little bit, I don't want to say peachier, but it's just not quite as cool as Dim Light was. I already use an amazing setting powder. I use the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. But sometimes in the summer, particularly if I know it's going to be a really hot day, I don't want to mattify my face. And I very, very gently use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder as a setting powder, because it really does blot out the shine without completely mattifying it. And it kind of adds just a little bit of glow. I use this also just as a highlighter on days where I just want to go a little bit more natural. But I had heard some YouTubers talking about how you could use it as a setting powder, and I gave it a try. I was afraid it was going to look very luminous because it's luminous light. But it's just a very slight hint of shimmer. Similar to if you used a primer that was a little bit shimmery. I know there's some of those out on the market right now. I didn't want to add any more liquid to my face because I really do have somewhat oily skin, and so I do try to blot out the excess oil. I don't want to wind up looking all pasty in the summer while everyone is luminous and glowing and has the dewy look in the, you know, in the sunshine, and I am flat white paste like a sheet of paper. Like, you look like you don't belong with anybody else. Actually, you look sick. And who wants to do that? So the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders might work really well as a setting powder, depending on the kind of look that you're going for. And I've been finding that it's been really fun for me to use as the weather heats up this summer. I am also illuminating myself with, drum roll, burr, burr, burr. That wasn't a drum roll, those were horns. But anyway, burr, burr, burr. Does everybody on the planet have this already? This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed in Champagne Pop. It's Jaclyn Hill's collaboration with Becca. They describe it as, well, it's like, it really looks like champagne, like in a compact. It's peachy, pinky with a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold. I don't know. It just seems to work. And I have a tremendous amount of trouble trying to find a highlighter that works with my olive skin tone, because too often they're too silvery. And it's like, wow, Gina, what are you doing there on top of your cheekbone? That looks a little wild and crazy. And so I actually didn't even really read the description, because Jaclyn Hill said that she made it and with them, and I just bought it blindly anyway, because I was going to have it. But it wound up being just amazing. I'm actually wearing it today. I use it very subtly, and I just think it gives the most excellent amount of highlighting without being obnoxious. It blends with my skin tone really well, and I heard when she was discussing it on her own channel that that's what she was aiming for. She really wanted something that was universal, and the formula of the Becca highlighters are just amazing. And with Jaclyn's insight and Becca's formula, we have like the perfect marriage. I mean, for real, Jaclyn says it was good, so I did it, because I'll really do anything that she tells me to. She has no idea who I am, but I'm still going to listen to her. Champagne Pop, definitely get it if you still can. It's limited edition. Go now. My number 5 for my favorites for June is actually a collection, so I was able to talk about more than one thing. It's the Morphe brushes. It's their Elite line, which they also say are limited edition, which quite frankly would convince me to buy anything without even thinking about budget, cost, or do I want it or not. Just call it limited edition and I'm going to buy it. Because then what happens if the time passes and you're like, oh, everybody else has it, I want it, and now I can't get it. But anyway, as it turns out, I had ordered these in like 2 different batches because I wanted to try them out. I didn't want to buy too much, but I wanted to give it a good go ahead, and then I wound up purchasing some more, and I'm probably still gonna go purchase some more. So in the Morphe Elite line collection, they are really inexpensively priced. Some of the eye brushes are like $6 or something, $6.99, something like that, and they're super soft. I've mentioned before that I am anti-prickle because I can't stand the moment a brush touches your face and it like gives you that prickle. I mean, my skin is pretty sensitive anyway, but you should not be prickling my face if I'm spending more than $5 on you, quite frankly. So I got a couple of eye brushes. I'll just list them off. I'll probably do an in-depth review of them and how I like to use them. This guy is the E30. He's kind of a fluffy shader brush. I also got the E23, which is another fluffy eye blending brush. And then I also got the E28, which is a little bit more of a pointier but fluffy blending brush. I did get a couple of face brushes also, so just kind of one at a time. I got the E6, which is the flat top, what is that, like the Sigma F80 flat top. I don't want to say it's a kabuki. They don't actually call it a kabuki, but it is a flat top. It's a little bit smaller, just a hair, but very dense, very soft. Love. I've been using it like every day since I got it. So that's the E6. I also got the E12, which is a very pointy face brush, kind of a dupe for the Sigma F86, which I already own, but this one's actually smaller than that one. I wish I had that one here. I use this on like very pointedly under my eyes. A lot of times I use the Bobbi Brown corrector first before I use concealer, and that corrector, which is like orange in tone to cancel out the blues, I don't want that going everywhere. So I'm able to just ever so gently use it very precisely, but underneath my eye, sans prickle. There is no prickle in this brush. Love. The last one I got, I think this one came from Jacqueline too, is the E4 brush, which is, I use it for blush. They're just super soft, dense enough so that they're picking up good product, but I'm like playing it like a guitar. So that they pick up enough product, but it just deposits it effortlessly, and I'm just in love with them. And I'm actually gonna go back to the site because again, it's limited edition, and I'm gonna get some more. They don't know who I am, so I don't have a coupon code, but they're so inexpensively priced that it really shouldn't bother you to buy them anyway. I know some of the other YouTubers though, I think, have some coupon codes, so definitely go check those out because who doesn't like a sale? And I'm sorry I'm not the one to give it to you. So that's it. Those are my 5 beauty favorites for the month of June. I appreciate you stopping by today. I've got some really cool stuff coming up, so I hope that you'll be back again. I am on Instagram and Twitter, so you can check me out there. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already a subscriber, I would really appreciate it. In the meantime, I hope you have a good rest of the day, and until the next time, thanks. It is the middle of July, and there's noise outside that started right now, for real. And screaming. And now they're screaming. Let's try that again. Blah, blah, blah. So if you're interested in finding out my June booty favorites, and you are